Donald Trump didn't just deliver an ordinary State of the Union. It was an absolute State of the Union. I'm Harriet Langley-Swindon, and this is Noncensored. Hello, and welcome to Noncensored, the podcast that wraps up all the best bits from my very real daily radio show into one easy-to-digest highlights package. And what a show we have for you this week, eh, Martin?
Oh, yes, indeed. We're joined by Reform UK's Suella Braverman, who updates us on all their exciting new policies. A royal expert talks us through how Andrew can be removed from the line of succession. And Eshaan Akbar has an award-winning apology watch. But before all that, we should say thank you to Richard, Michael Vickers, Peter Gorman and Sue Avery, all of whom have signed up to our Patreon at patreon.com/noncensored. They're making it possible for us to pay our guests and to hire this beautiful studio. And then they will, like all of our Patreons, also hear an interview with a celebrity baby publicist in today's episode. Here's a clip of that.
Let me put it like this. If you could guarantee an income for yourselves, if you could guarantee, for example, like, Martin, are you mortgage free?
I'm working hard to pay it off, but...
So no?
Not yet, no.
Right. Okay, so imagine if you were, then would you be more open to perhaps setting your kids up in this manner? I mean, that's what we are now. Going forward as a species, as the human race, we are our own image. We are our own brand deal. Every single one of us, even if we're not famous. So if you are famous, that's even more so the case.
So you could leverage your children in order to pay off your debts.
Like in The Lion King with Simba,
when
Simba got leveraged like that.
No, he was just lifted. I don't think he got... although he was a king, so he already... I mean, they got a little
Simba
bunts coming in from that, I should imagine.
Yeah, Simba would have been good, apart from I don't know how good they are with cameras, you know, those lions. Now, that interview will never appear in the main feed, so if you want to watch it or listen to it, as well as getting every episode early and without adverts, every interview in video and bonus podcasts, like this month's edition of Time for Questions, which came out this week, head on over to patreon.com/noncensored and sign up if you can for just £1 or £2 a week.
And don't forget that we now have social media accounts for Noncensored. That's a Noncensored Podcast on Instagram and Noncensored Pod on TikTok. We'll be posting lots of clips on both of those accounts, and advertisers really like it when podcasts have large social media followings. So following us there does actually support us financially.
But on to this week's show, and we'll start with Reform UK, who are looking like they will storm the Gordon and Denton by-election.
I actually don't think they're in the lead of the polls, Harriet. Or if they are, it's not by much, so, you know.
No, I just meant that they are going to storm it. You know, like troopers. Anyway, we were joined by Reform UK's Suella Braverman, who took a break from doing whatever it is she does these days to talk to us. Let's take a listen. Suella, it's been a while.
It's been a while. Thrilled to be back. Thrilled to be back here.
Well, you say thrilled to be back. I mean, you're not just back on the show. You're back on the scene.
I'm back on the scene. People thought they had got rid of me. Well, they were silly.
They were silly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
What survives a nuclear blast? Suella Braverman.
Yeah. They really should make that a catchphrase.
What survives a nuclear blast? Suella.
I don't know if that's good because it's usually cockroaches that are given that.
Usually, but now I'm replacing the
You want to
cockroach.
take over the mantle.
So I'm the new thing that survives a world-ending detonation. It's me, Suella.
It's funny you sort of compare yourself to a cockroach because
No, I
also-
don't. I've compared myself to something that survives anything, which is different.
Right. Sorry, my mistake. Yes. But also, I mean, you know, we think of cockroaches. We also think about sort of rats fleeing a sinking ship. That's another sort of analogy that's been used to talk about the Tories.
Do you know who else flees sinking ships? The rich people on the Titanic.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, that's very true.
They fled too because they wanted to survive. And, you know, like the Titanic, the Conservatives were sinking. And I have joined not just the lifeboat, but it's actually just a bigger boat.
The small boat.
So imagine the Titanic was sinking and a bigger boat was coming by, and all the clever people went onto the bigger boat.
A bigger
That's what I
boat
did.
than the Titanic.
Yeah,
Or would it be a smaller boat than the Titanic?
No, I like the bigger boat.
Please.
Going to need a bigger boat.
Okay, so there's sharks in the water. A bigger boat has come past. You're Billy Zane.
I'm Billy.
You put the necklace in the coat. You put the coat on the woman. Now you steal a baby from a poor Irish person, perhaps, and you say, "Let me on the boat."
Yeah, I mean, basically, I like how you've run with this, because that's pretty much how it's happened. Because all of my other Conservative babies have come with me. I've saved them too.
Good.
I've saved them
like
too.
Robert Jenrick.
Oh,
I suppose he'd be the Leo.
He'd be the Leo.
He'd be the Leo. I'm obviously the Kate.
Oh, right, I see. Yes. Yeah.
Right.
But on a boat, not on a
boat.
On a bit of wood. On a boat, bigger boat.
Why did you flee the ship, and why did you go to this big reform boat?
I didn't flee the ship. The ship was going in the wrong direction.
Right.
Okay? And we all know that the right direction for this country is for reform to lead it.
Yeah.
Right.
And for reform to, you know, do the right things to reform the country. For example, you know, I think it's about time we had proper policies about people's citizenship and their British citizenship, and that we should be able to take it away and whenever we want. You know,
So I'm so glad someone said
my
it.
old party seemed to think that people were just British and they could just stay British. Well, actually, that's not the case. Actually, it's like gym membership. You know, you can't just have it if you know, if we don't want you in our gym, or you know you're not using it correctly, or you're not the kind of person that we want in our locale. We can just cancel it.
Cancel the membership.
Yes.
Cancel the membership.
For example, in my gym, Suella, there's a lot of old people, and when you want to go and use the machines, often they're just sitting on the machines having a little snooze.
Well, I mean, this is exactly the kind of thing that made me want to leave my old party and join Reform, so we can fix that for you. We can go up to those old people and we can say, you know, do a push-up or get out.
Right.
And
so
that's all we're saying. That's all we're saying to anybody. Really. Contribute or get out. Are you contributing? Get
if
out.
you're an old British person who snoozes, you will have your citizenship.
Well, you're clearly not. If you're snoozing, you're not British, are you? You should be working. You should be down the mines, which we're going to reopen, obviously.
Yes. See, this is so great, Suella. For ages, I've been saying send people back, go back down the mines.
Can you
Send them back.
Yes.
2 mines?
Yes. I can.
So, perhaps you'll be able to explain something for our listeners who are a little confused, because reform, that's not the same as Transformers, is it? Because they're robots in disguise, but you're not. You're sort of politicians of a
No,
kind,
so we're
aren't
not
you?
robots. No, we're not transformed. We're not like cars.
No.
We're reforming the country.
Yeah.
Right, like Bumblebee.
Well,
He was a good robot who was also, I think...
No, I don't think that Producer Martin, Reform aren't robots.
No, but there's a similarity, isn't there?
Well, it depends. Did Bumblebee have a firm line, for example, about sexual regulation?
Well, Megan Fox was in that film,
You know,
and I think Bumblebee was a fan.
You know,
of
the other
hers.
thing that...
Not all reform are robots, but all robots are reform.
Oh.
But let's talk about this, because you're referring to Danny Kruger, Reform member, who was saying that we need to do something about...
When I joined Reform, I had one question, and I was like, are you guys going to regulate sex?
Yeah.
It's unregulated.
Yeah.
Yes.
We used to have a risk-based approach
Yes.
to the sexual economy. Do you know what I mean? We used to think about our reserves.
Yeah.
We used to think about how we had sex and who we had sex with. Now,
Yes.
as you know, you could walk out of it today and have sex with anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody you wanted. Can you imagine?
Sure.
And look at what that has done to society. What you should be doing is having sex with somebody who is of a net benefit to society.
Yeah.
And that is how
Okay.
British should be run as a
We
country.
also need more safe words.
We do need more safe words. This is what regulation does.
Yes.
It stops fraud.
No, you only need one.
It keeps interest rates low and manageable. You know, why interest rate high? Unregulated sexual economy. Regulated sexual economy. The government should know who you're having sex with, when, and crucially, why.
Oh, well, that sounds a bit
Because if
much.
it's not to make babies, why are you doing it?
Well, we're talking about people who aren't married, though, aren't we? I think married people can have, you know.
Well,
it's fine
I mean,
what they do, isn't it?
I think married people as well we need to make sure they're having sex regularly enough, because they're not having enough sex.
Yes.
You know, and I think
Some of them are.
What is the point of getting your tax credits if you're not having sex with your partner? Give us those tax credits back.
Yeah.
Okay? Give us, inheritance tax. Did you know if you're married, that impacts your inheritance? They're saving all this money, but they're not having sex.
Oh,
okay?
why don't you rename the marriage tax credits to sex credits?
That's what it's like.
Sex doesn't have to be sexing.
Yeah.
It's like you're reading. You should come work for Reform. This guy is wasted here. This guy's wasted.
I just
here,
say whatever pops into my head. To be honest,
self-assessments we are gonna change self-assessments into they're going to stay as self-assessments, but we're going to assess people's regularity of sex if they are married
this morning.
and unmarried, and so you should, because that virility comes from that.
Yes.
People think if you do it, you don't want sex. That's a lie.
Yes.
The more you self-assess, the more sex you want.
me.
Okay.
I mean, Suella, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really understand what you're talking about, but what I do understand is that there is too much there's all these people now polyamorous.
Yes.
They're polyamorous in the streets. They're polyamorous in the sheets.
Yes.
And that's not
Preach,
acceptable. That's not acceptable. Okay. Everybody should have one sexual partner.
Well,
and
At a time?
At a time, forever, and then they should have sex as often as possible in a home that is a semi-detached home. It has to be a respectable home.
How many sexual partners have you had?
I have.
quite a
Eshaan,
personal
that's a
question.
very personal question, actually. And just so you know, I'm just going to answer that with the statement: my sexual economy has been regulated. Okay?
Right.
And I think that's quite evident.
Suella, I think I do have to give a little bit of pushback here because.
Like that.
Well, you see, you're talking about the sexual economy, but if you think about the actual economy that Reform has been in charge of, the county council,
Yes.
it's actually been going bankrupt.
Yeah.
It's not going in a good way. Is there a risk that Reform could bankrupt the sexual economy of the UK, make us less sexy on a global stage?
Yes.
At the moment, we have some...
Pretty sexy.
We have some sexy
We are
actors.
sexy.
Cumberbatch.
And Dua Lipa, is she one of ours?
Yeah.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
Adele's got sexy.
Yes. So and Reform, some people might be worried Reform would come in. Suddenly, all of our pop stars are not sexy anymore.
Yes.
Well, I think you need to reassess where we are as a country, just like the county councils that we inherited, and they were bankrupt when they had no money when we were there. If I gave you bacon, you would.
I'd like bacon.
You wouldn't be feeding a pig, would you? It's bacon. You'd have
I'd
to-
eat some
you'd have
bacon
to-
myself.
It's Ramadan.
it's-
I'd rather we didn't talk about bacon.
No bacon for him.
Well, this is what I mean about. Is he? Take his passport away.
Wow.
That's the kind of thing that would get your citizenship removed
Right.
under a reform.
Well, let's talk about this. So how far will you go when it comes to revoking citizenship?
He just said Ramadan.
I think he's allowed to say Ramadan.
Well,
I've got
that's
to
because
say
we're not in
Suella.
charge yet. We're not in charge yet.
Okay.
But you think this is a sexy country. It's not a sexy country. If it was, where are the babies? Where are the babies? Can you see any babies? Can you see any babies? Is
invite
there a
them
baby
into-
behind here?
What,
Is there a baby on the table?
No,
Are you talking about
don't-
No,
listen, we haven't
babies.
Are you talking about
So-
sexy babies? What?
So we're not a sexy country, okay? So it will take time. It will take time. That's all I'm saying. And just like we went to the county council, where is the money? We can't. It doesn't grow on trees. You've got to generate the money. It will probably go bankrupt before it gets a bit of money.
Right.
And when
Sexually bankrupt.
both.
Doesn't sound good.
I mean, I have it on good authority that Kent is the least sexiest part of the country.
Right. All
And
right.
so we inherited a county council where there wasn't any money and there wasn't any sexiness. And we are going to regulate the money. And well, we're doing that right now. And when we regulate the sexiness, you will go to Kent and you will be stepping on Lego.
Oh.
That is how we will change that county.
Right.
Babies everywhere. And that's what we want, really. We want to walk down the street and suddenly step on something that squeaks because of the babies. That's what we want.
Suella, I want to move on from the babies and talk about Gordon and Denton because
Yeah.
this is the thing. This is the talk this week.
Big
is.
talking
We've
point.
got Matthew Goodwin, of course.
Sexy.
Yes, and he's going against, well, people are saying not just Labour, but more importantly, the Greens.
He's going against the morality, the moral spine of this country. That's who he's going. He's literally, people want to change Gordon and Denton into some kind of like PVC handcuff, spiky.
This actually sounds quite sexy. Is this a
this is
sex
quite
thing?
sexy.
This is unregulated sexy.
Okay.
Okay, this is
There's no room for kinks in the
unregulated
reform.
sexy.
You've
Okay.
got to
And let me
regulate the
tell you, let me
sexy.
just say one thing to the people of Gordon and Denton. Okay, if you want baby oil lining the streets of your town, okay, if you want suspenders and whips and leather and that thing where the apple goes in the person's mouth. If you want that, then you know what to do.
Oh,
but if you don't want that,
I think it's just lunch.
you know what to do.
Suella, I've just
a
realised
healthy
what
lunch.
you're talking about. This is like in It's a Wonderful Life when he goes to the alternate reality where he's never been born, and there's all these strip clubs everywhere.
Oh.
Lights,
Sounds like
flashing
heaven.
lights, poles.
No,
you know,
it's bad.
It's not heaven. It's bad.
It's bad.
I once took a girl on a first date to a strip club.
Yes. And do you have any babies?
No, we didn't, but we
Yeah.
had a lot
So
of fun.
are you contributing to society?
Well, I paid the strippers money.
Exactly.
Sorry, Suella,
How is the NHS going to survive if we're all going to strip clubs? We should be at home drinking tea in bed and reading a book before we procreate.
Okay, but Suella, you're not completely pro babies because the other thing Reform are talking about is the two-child
Two-child policy.
benefit. Yes,
We're pro the right babies.
right.
We want
The right
Can you
baby.
describe the right baby?
It's not a regulated sexual economy if everybody's having sex. Just regulate.
Yes,
Yeah, who is
regulated
doing it? I
babies.
see.
Regulated babies.
So basically, it all
And only
comes down
2
to
each,
regulating. Let's regulate the babies. So let's
Regulate
regulate
the
the
baby.
sex, and let's regulate immigration.
Regulation equals
A better nation.
a better nation.
Wow.
Regulation
Regulation for a
equals a
nation.
better nation.
Don't think you should.
That again, he's done something foreign again. I mean,
I know.
Regulation for a
I
nation.
don't think that's.
I don't think that's.
The problem is
appropriate.
he's a sort of provocateur, really. He's a comedian.
There's a
Oh,
time
wow.
there's a time and a place. Eshaan.
Wow.
Is that
It's actually Eshaan. It's quite easy.
Nobody knows how to pronounce it, to be honest. We just,
Eshaan.
I'm going to have a word of the Home Office. I've got his name.
please don't report Eshaan. He's
Actually-
he's actually very important
legal.
in the show.
If he gets deported, it's fine. He can just do it on Zoom.
Is it possible to support me? I was born and raised here.
Does that matter now? Will that
Of
change?
course, it doesn't matter.
Well, Eshaan, it's
Anyone
been
can
lovely
get it.
having you. If, inexplicably, Reform failed the Gordon and Denton election, will that prove that it's been rigged?
It will prove beyond doubt, okay, and we will know there would have been interference,
Yes.
okay, not Russian, obviously, because the Russians would never do that,
No.
but probably from other parts of Manchester. I hear there's lots of AI activity there, and I think it would have been rigged basically by these pro-sexual freedom people.
Yes.
They're very good on computers. They're very good. That's where they watch all the porn.
Yes.
You know,
And this is what happens if you don't have a regulation for the election.
we need sexual regulation,
Yeah.
we need electoral regulation, and if we don't win, and it's unlikely that we're not going to win, all of our policies make complete and utter sense, and everyone can see the benefit of the policies we are making. If we don't win, we will know that it would have been stolen by sexual fiends.
Yes.
And this is outside of migrants and foreigners. Sexual deviants are the people who are the biggest threat to British society, and we will be launching our new manifesto about dealing with sexual deviants in the coming weeks, and we will make sure that people have just good, old-fashioned, traditional, scheduled sex to a timetable with someone that they know.
The manifest no.
It's a good. It's a good title. Yeah,
Good.
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
you definitely.
nice. You did.
You're not going to make more babies with a fist, so that's
Yeah.
a great title.
Have you ever fisted
Yeah.
a baby into
Okay.
fruition?
No,
Okay,
that's not.
all right. No,
Come
no,
on,
no
please.
more.
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
the fist has got
No. What has got what? Sorry? What's Suella?
the less I say, the better.
Suella, if you could just tell us in one sentence what your plan as Reform is to get rid of the evil Autobots.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Transformers, robots in
Oh,
disguise. They have to fight the Autobots. Optimus Prime, of course, being one of the goodies. I mean, are you all going to? Is there a moment where you Zoid up, as it were? I'm mixing my Power Rangers.
Yeah,
You'd rather him stay in the
One
country than me.
larger
that is
Megazord
British man.
type situation with
And-
a sword that's a car.
Well,
maybe
that-
a-
that-
this
You'd
is a,
rather deport me and keep him.
I think we need more white men
Yes,
What, like
saying
producer
sensible
Martin?
things.
Did you say yes?
thank you.
Did you say yes?
Yes, and we need fewer men with beards
Wow.
speaking in fake Jamaican accents.
You did
I
kind of
mean-
overstep the line,
I mean-
to be honest, it was.
No, but I was.
I can't save you. Even I can't save you now, Eshaan.
Thank you for saying
My
my name
hands are
correctly.
tied.
Thank you for saying my name correctly.
Welcome to Reform.
Riggy Eshaan for a Eshaan.
Well, this section really took a strange turn and an ending I did not see coming.
Bye, Eshaan.
Now, it's been a tough few weeks for the royal family.
Yes, they really are the real victims of all this, aren't they?
Yes, exactly, Martin. I say, if your mum has paid £12 million to make some allegations go away, those allegations should have the common decency to stay gone. But sadly, it looks like manners are a thing of the past, and so Andrew might be removed from the line of succession. To talk about this, we were joined by Brenjamin St Francis, Professor Emeritus of Constitutional Monarchy and Media Studies at Oxbridge University, Leicester. But before that, here's a note from our royal correspondent, Nicola Witchell, who we tried to get on the show this week, but she said she wouldn't leave her downstairs toilet until Meghan the Sussex apologised.
Harriet, it's Nicola. Well, she finally got what she wanted, didn't she? She finally got what she wanted. It has been Meghan Markle, the Sussex's dream since she wormed her way into and then out of the royal family to see Prince Andrew Windsor Mountbatten arrested. Thrown in jail for almost an entire day by Her Majesty's police officers. And for what? What is his crime? For knowing a man? For sending a few emails? For renting a house off of King Prince Charles in return for peppercorns? Don't really understand that, to be honest, but peppercorns were once a luxury item, and Meghan is jealous of that. Prince Andrew no longer a prince due to the long-term plan of Meghan to strip him of his titles. If it was up to her, he'd just be called Andrew, and then that wouldn't be good enough for her, and she'd insist he be stripped of all but the first letter of his name. A. He would simply be known as A. How would she like to just be known as M? She wouldn't. Like Judi Dench off of James Bond, that was her, wasn't it? She was M. Meghan, you will never be Dame Judi Dench. What would Diana say? Well, good news. We can find out because I am inhabited by her spirit and she could speak through me. Diana, as the beloved woman who respected the royal family the most out of anyone, what thinkest you? I feel terrible for Andrew. He was always my favourite and Meghan is wrong. Well, there you have it, and William looks like shit these days. Diana! What a thing to say, and entirely unrelated. You bring shame upon the royal family today. My apologies, Harriet. I never should have invited her out of the cupboard to speak through me.
Brenjamin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I know that it's a very thorny subject at the moment, and everybody's coming with a real sense of urgency about what can we do.
Yes.
People are asking me, as an expert, how can we remove Andrew Mountbatten Windsor from the line of succession? And indeed, is that something that we should be doing?
But he has brought shame on our great institution of the royal family.
Shame.
Well, for many people, they see it as shame. For many people, they see that he was doing his job as a family member. I mean, families, as we all know, are complicated.
Yes.
We've all been in funny situations, and we've all made a phone call here or there to help out another member of our family.
Yes.
So, for example, in 1994, I wanted to get a Tracy Island for my nephew.
Oh, yes.
I had to make a call to Slobodan Milosevic in order to pull a few favours.
Right.
Or with the time that I had to call Ian Huntley in order for him to facilitate a meet and greet with Mr. Blobby.
Okay. Well,
Yes, I understand. I once had to call my brother's school because my brother hadn't done his homework. So I called the school pretending that I was him and pretending to be ill. So I do understand it's the same
We
thing.
make little white lies.
Yes.
And people are saying, well, the charges against him should be gross misconduct in public office. But actually, was he working for the betterment of the country? Many of the things that he was sharing,
Yes.
I mean, you would share that information with somebody that has an enormous amount of leverage and money.
Right.
Seems right that you would share that information. It would make the country prosper.
But just to give you a counter to that argument, Brenjamin, it is also sharing British secrets with a pedo.
Yeah, with a
With
convicted
a paedophile,
paedophile.
an actual sex.
So, like,
Yeah.
when you say like
Sex
that,
offender.
it sounds quite bad, doesn't it?
That's not the charge against him. I mean, if we're going to take that as a precedent for how we should treat members in public life, I think you'd have the courts full.
I see.
And so with Andrew, he is in a different position to any other trade envoy. Andrew is part not just of a family, but he's also part of a backbone of our society,
But perhaps
of our community. Remember that this isn't an elected official. This isn't somebody that's been brought to power. This is somebody that has been given power, not just from yesterday or a few months or a few years ago, for 1,000 years.
Well, when he hasn't been alive that long,
No.
but since he
But it's been preordained
Yes.
that he should have this power for over 1,000. We're getting back to the
Quite a
ethical.
long time,
could
isn't it?
we before we get to the line of succession, is there anything else we could do with his name? Because I know we just call him Andrew now. Is there anything we could make it a bit worse, like Andy Pandy?
Yeah, Andy Handsy.
Maybe like
Is there a step
officially call
down?
him the asshole.
I suppose historically there is a precedent for this, is
Right.
that we give people names like Bonnie Prince Charlie.
Oh yes.
The old pretender we saw from the Jameses.
Oh, very good.
So there would
Emperor
be...
Akbar from the Mughal.
the boss for Bruce Springsteen.
Yes, of course. So I suppose there would be a historical precedent that he could have a name that does fall into parlance.
Okay.
What
You
could
have any
that
suggestions?
be? Yes. What could that be?
Grubby boy.
Grubby.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
quite,
I think
sounds
that's
quite
quite
fun
good.
though, doesn't
Because
it?
people
Sort
are
of stick with
trying-
the dump type.
People are trying to finger Andrew at the moment.
I think maybe we should do a different word.
I don't know if they're trying
They're trying to.
They're trying to finger him for a crime.
They're trying to finger the grubby boy.
I don't think.
They're trying to finger the
Stop
grubby.
fingering the grubby boy, which
Okay.
is what we should tell them.
And we will have to see what justice happens. But we must remember that our dear late Queen Elizabeth II,
yes.
Oh yes.
was a wonderful mother.
She wasn't a grubby boy, was she?
She would spend time with her children,
Yes.
often daily.
And she fixed cars
and that's
before
the thing,
war.
isn't it? And Brenjamin is there's been some criticism recently of the Queen, which I think actually is really blasphemous when she's died.
You can't.
But sort of saying that she's helped Andrew and she paid lots of money.
£12 million.
Oh, details, Eshaan. £12 million to the royals. That's just,
Pocket change,
Yes,
isn't it?
it's pocket
To be
change.
fair, my mum would also, if she could, sniff out 12 million quid to stop me from sexual assault allegations.
Yes.
I can categorically say that there is no way she could have known that he was a bad boy.
She didn't know.
She was a really wonderful mummy to all of them.
Well, that. as
And
you say,
remember,
and
they
that's-
are a normal family
Yes.
who dedicate their life working so hard. Everything that Andrew has done, he is working tirelessly for his whole life in service
Right, there
to
are
our
those-
country. And what has he had in return?
Children.
Children, and a lot of access to power. And
Well, exactly, but this is small fry when you consider how hard he works.
Yeah.
So he takes some helicopter rides.
Yes.
He has a palace and millions of pounds.
may I ask?
When you consider per minute the amount that he's working
Yes.
in arse.
May I ask, Brenjamin, the role of King Charles, who was, of course, his brother. The brother, I'm sure, was probably aware of some of what was happening. He's your brother, after all. You WhatsApp each other on your day.
Well, just can we also clarify? King Charles and Andrew, are they actually brothers, or are they brother in a cool sense, like they like to hang out together? I've never really.
This, many people ask about this, and obviously there is an interesting historical precedent between two monarchical families. Look at Louis XIV and, of course, the Duc d'Orléans, Philippe,
Yes.
who had a very complicated relationship, but never went to war.
Right.
Now, I know this because I've studied this particular family relationship. I listened to Greg Jenner's "You're Dead to Me."
Yes, a wonderful
very
podcast.
And they did a whole podcast about it, so I know a lot about this particular issue. The two brothers never went to war. They were always very loyal to each other, even though they both had rather extraordinary and difficult lives.
Yes.
Now, if we were looking to find a way to remove the line of succession, we would need to look historically at when this has been done before. And actually, the last time that I can think of is something like 1483, when the then Duke of York, Richard, did away with the two little boys in the Tower.
Oh.
And I don't know if the current Duke of York did anything with the children in the Tower.
Is there not a way that we could simply, I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, but send him off to the Crystal Maze and make sure he has an automatic lock-in? Then he can't assume the role of king.
Well, you would need to, in order to have that, you would need to have consent from the entire country for that.
And
remember
of
that
course,
1215
Richard
Magna
O'Brien,
Carta,
yeah.
we see the barons and the dukes making a case that they should have more control. And now, of course, then the people that had control were the barons and the dukes. But now, because of our insistence in universal suffrage, we have every man, woman and dog over the age of 18 able to have a say about the governance of our country.
An
So in
18-year-old
order
dog's
to push
quite
that
old, aren't they?
through, we would need to be looking at nearly 70 million people handwriting or hand signing some sort of charter saying that they wanted to remove Andrew from the succession.
Right.
And that would be very difficult. But of course, if they could come to a unanimous decision, they could put him into the Crystal Maze and have him locked in there.
So that is
That
something
sounds
we could
like,
do.
yes,
It
quite a
sounds like
sort of wise solution. Because I just feel, Brenjamin, that the royal family, they were chosen by God, of course.
Exactly. There's nothing that we can do about it.
But I think God would probably make an exception here, surely. I think God would go, well, actually, Prince Andrew has been, to, put it by recent terms, a grubby boy.
Yeah, he has been a
Can I
grubby
ask you
boy.
to clarify? You're suggesting that God wasn't right.
No.
He made a mistake.
Oh, Harriet, be careful.
I'm not
here.
saying God. No, I'd never
is
say
God.
that God isn't right. I'm just saying I think that with the new information to light, I think God would reassess the situation.
I think you're on very difficult territory
Right.
here because when we look at where we've got to now, God has made some very good decisions of people that perhaps were kings that could be quite contentious, that people look poorly on. But of course, where did that lead us to? It led us to Queen Elizabeth II, the late Majesty. Without, if any of those nasty chaps hadn't gone before, if we hadn't had Bloody Mary, 1553 to 1558, who of course was chosen by God as well,
Yes.
and any other unsavoury people that that now, with modern eyes, we look back and we go, oh, we wouldn't behave like that now. We got Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II.
Can I just ask, Brenjamin,
You can't change it.
have you, in your official capacity, seen the TV show Succession?
Succession, yes, it's very much based. People say it's based on the Murdochs, but actually, it's very much based on the Windsors as well.
Oh, wow. Okay, see, that's what I was wondering, because it's the same word, isn't it?
Same word that we're talking about.
And it's what we're talking about, yes.
Very much so, and also you see the sort of tropes of Shakespeare, of King Lear, and that gets passed through it as well.
Well, I've got a suggestion. You suggested the Crystal Maze things. Perhaps we could do, in Gladiators, where they would get on top of podiums and fight each other with those
Bugle
sticks.
sticks.
Yeah, the
Bugle
bugle
sticks,
sticks. Maybe we could do that with Andrew versus, whoever else is next in line and see who wins. And at that point, we just have to accept that Andrew's maybe the stronger man.
That is, we certainly have historical precedent for that.
Yes.
Where in medieval
historical
times
precedents.
we do get, you look at Eleanor of Aquitaine, Matilda and Stephen and the others, where there are brothers fighting against each other.
Yes. Yes.
And there's certainly that could be something that we could look into.
And in that
Constitution,
situation,
that would be allowed.
did they also have to do that thing where they cycle with their arms?
Arms,
'Cause
yeah.
That looks really difficult when they're
Not anymore. Not anymore. That was in the 90s. It's not. It was too. The contraption was too.
King ready. Challenger ready.
Don Anderson.
And of course, using the somebody from Scotland as well,
Yes.
showing the strength of the Union.
Brenjamin, one more question for you, because then we must let you get on. But what do you think we should do? How
Yes.
should we handle this incredibly difficult
Complex.
situation?
Yeah.
And speaking as a mere mortal, a mere citizen of our country, a subject
Not chosen by God.
not chosen by God, we shouldn't have the damnedest say on it at all.
Oh.
It's not for us to say.
Let God decide.
That's not really what we do at Noncensored. No. But thank you, Brenjamin. We'll take that into account. Brenjamin, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Now, if you were listening to the Patreon version of this podcast, you would be about to hear an interview with a celebrity baby publicist. But you're not. You're listening to the free version. If you want the show in full without adverts, as well as interviews in video and bonus podcasts like Time for Questions, where we answer your questions, you'll have to head on over to patreon.com/noncensored and sign up for just £4 or £8 a month. Finally, we all saw the BAFTAs this week. Well, I didn't, but I did see the BBC had totally it up, like the gaggle of they are.
I'll have to bleep that.
Proving, after all, that we have higher editorial standards than the BBC. To rate the BBC's apology for using offensive language, here's Eshaan Akbar with Apology Watch. Let's take a listen.
I'm so not sorry that it's made me feel sorry for the not apology I'm sorry about. So I'm sorry not sorry that the not nature of the sorry is the sorry enough, or not.
Well, Eshaan,
Yes.
there's some apologies that are going to go down today,
Yes.
or have gone down today.
Well, they've certainly
No, they
gone
didn't go
da-
down today.
They didn't go down
already been-
today.
What we're doing is we're watching the apologies.
We're
This is an apology
watching.
watch.
Yes.
There's apologies that have gone down someday.
We're going to be watching some
Apologies.
with you.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are going to be watching some apologies. We're going to review some apologies that have come out recently, because as you know, as the apology expert, I'm very good at understanding where a good and effective apology, what it looks like and what it sounds like. So most recently, you may have seen that the BAFTAs took place.
Oh, lovely,
Yeah.
lovely BAFTAs.
Lovely BAFTAs.
Yes.
The British Academy of Film and Television Awards.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm pretty impressed. I remembered that. In any case, they had a wonderful award ceremony, but it was marred by an incident where John Davidson, who is an actor who has Tourette's.
He's not an actor.
No, who is he? What is he?
He's a campaigner.
He's a campaigner.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
right. Okay. Well, John Davidson, the campaigner, he has got Tourette's himself.
Yes.
And during an award that was being handed out by Michael B. Jordan, the sexy man that
He is,
God,
yeah.
he's sexy, isn't he? Michael B. Jordan.
Sexy man.
Yeah, would you? Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were on stage, two black men. John Davidson shouted out the N-word. Now, you and I both know the N-word is a pretty bad word.
Some would say the worst racial.
The
well,
worst racial
it's
slur.
yes, generally regarded.
Now, we should not have known about this at all because the BAFTAs are edited and then aired a couple of hours after the event takes place. But it was aired, and we did see this happen. And of course, this caused a ruckus, and the BBC had to apologise to say we cannot believe that the N-word was aired. Mm-hmm. And their apology reads as follows. We apologise that this was not edited out prior to broadcast, and it will now be removed from the version on BBC iPlayer.
Oh.
Well, it's that is an apology.
It's an apology, and they're taking action. Took it out on BBC iPlayer.
Yes. Mhm.
People can't watch it there.
No.
Is it on the internet still? Yeah, but that's fine. The internet's a big place. Can't really see much on the internet.
It's like the Wild West, isn't it?
It is the Wild
Yeah.
West, yeah. If it's not in your algorithm, you're not going to see it.
Yes.
But perhaps the most important thing about this is the N-word was actually said twice,
Okay.
right,
goodness.
in the show, and they managed to edit out one of them.
Right.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's a 50% reduction in racism.
Oh,
Wow.
isn't that good?
Okay.
If you
Yes.
think about it, right? Globally, if we could reduce racism by 50%
Yes.
a year,
Still, a way to go. It's not perfect.
it's not perfect, but if you could reduce racism by 50% a year, you get rid of racism in 2 years.
No, that's not how numbers work. No, it would just go down each year. It would be 50% each year.
50% one year,
Less.
50% the other year. It's 100% reduction
But
in racism.
50% of the 50% would just be 25% of the original 100%. So, I mean,
This is good though, because I was all ready to condemn the BBC because they do lock up old ladies.
Yes.
But this is progress, isn't
It's
it?
progress.
They're doing something.
Yes, because look, you can't chastise a disabled person for their disability.
no.
No. About 10 to 30% of people with Tourette's have this particular brand of Tourette's where you say offensive slurs involuntarily.
Yes.
But, as a comedian, I'd quite like to be able to do that. Right?
Yeah, no.
We'll
you
add a
can't.
bit of flavour.
I don't think you should do that, Eshaan. Lisa, I'm coming at it from a slightly different angle. You see, when it comes to editing, it's very difficult to get a perfect cut. Okay, and from
Blah, blah, blah.
what we've heard,
Can you edit that bit?
I'm going to have to, but I
I'm going
will.
to struggle.
It's not always easy. You're under time pressure. You've got people shouting at you. You've got to cut out things like Free Palestine. You
Well,
can't
this
say
is the
that
thing
on
I
air,
was
can
going
you?
to
That's
say.
not-
You could say this poor editor had all he didn't
And
have
he's in a van.
time. He didn't have time to think about racist slurs
Yeah.
because people were saying Free Palestine in their speeches.
Of course. And
that's going
God
to take a
knows
lot
the
of
impact,
editing.
The impact of someone saying that, what that can have on an editor's mind.
Yes.
Yeah, because the editor, he's trying to, you've got to be precise. Editing is a very precise, it's an art form almost, isn't it? And
yes,
you're
I'd say
there. And imagine you're moving your mouse, right? You're about to do a cut. And then you hear Free Palestine. Your hand must shake. Tremendous.
Okay, don't shake because we've got the microphones there.
How can you possibly concentrate? And, we're human beings. We can only deal with, one pain point at a time.
Okay.
You can't expect an editor
Yeah.
to deal with the fallout from saying Free Palestine
Yeah.
and the N-word.
And
Too
you
many,
probably
you've got to pick one.
could be eating a pot noodle too because you've been working at your lunch
'cause you've
break.
been working that and you haven't had time, or someone gives you, an oat hobnob.
Yes, or you could have, those pot stickers
The pot stickers, they're quite good.
from, where is it? Itsu.
Itsu, yeah.
Oh, they're
or the
lovely.
caramel bars, they're quite good. The Tunnocks caramel.
Oh, you have one of those or a snowball. You ever have a snowball?
I like a snowball. They're
Also
very
from
nice.
Tunnocks.
Yeah, Tunnocks, they're very nice. aren't they?
What else do they do? They do those bars. The
I don't really
caramel
understand what's happened here.
Kit Kats.
Kit Kat. That's two of those.
Yeah, two of those. But you're there, as an editor for the BAFTAs, you've got to make a choice. And I think it's very good that the BBC chose to apologise for the racism that they needed to cut out. There's no need for them to apologise for cutting out Free Palestine.
Because that was also offensive to people who don't want to free Palestine.
Yeah. And, you've got to pick and choose who do you want to upset,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's how life works, right? We give and take. Some people get offended and some people don't, right? And as you know, as a comedian, my philosophy on comedy is offences taken, not given, right? And if you're,
Right.
if
Naughty
you're
man.
choosing to take offence, that's also a point, isn't it? Some people are choosing to take offence at the fact that a disabled person said the N-word.
Yes.
You could choose not to be offended by that. But the people who are going to be offended by someone saying Free Palestine, that's much more dangerous. It's much more hurtful.
I think as apologies go, it's a good apology. Would it be better if it hadn't have happened? Yes. But maybe we shouldn't be putting editors in vans.
Are you saying don't invite disabled people to the BAFTAs?
That's exactly what I'm not saying.
right.
I'm saying bring them in,
Yeah, more.
but also bring inside the editors and give
Okay.
them not vans to edit in.
I mean, can I throw in a counter just to be devil's advocate?
Yes.
Could we not just lambast the disabled person?
Okay, that's
Could we just not
why
do
are
that
we.
instead?
Yeah.
Maybe that's an option. That's it's been, it's the internet's doing its thing.
Yeah.
And
Well, I can speak to this as
Yes.
as someone who's from the hearing impaired community.
and you're our disabled correspondent.
I am a disabled correspondent. I'm a hearing impaired person. I have a disabled person's rail card. I will say that sometimes some people from my community, we like pushing the boundaries of our disability. So, like, I get a disabled person's rail card, right, which gets me a third off rail travel.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And sometimes I choose not to pay at all.
What? That's high larceny.
Yeah. But what will happen is if the ticket inspector comes, I will do a deaf voice, but then they can't do anything.
Harriet's crying.
Yeah, don't cry.
What voice?
I'll do a deaf.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. No, we don't know. We can imagine. We know what voice. I don't know why I asked that.
I just basically do a deaf voice, and because they see the hearing aids, they get quite stressed out. And then,
Are you being offensive there? I feel like is he being? I feel like
but I am a deaf person.
But you're not. You don't have that voice though. I think
but I have access to that voice because I'm deaf.
You don't have access to the voice. You can't do the voice.
You have access to the voice. If you have the disability, you have access to all the possibilities.
No, because I'm of Irish descent. If I start doing lots of anti-Irish rhetoric, then
you've got the Irish voice deep inside. Try it, producer Martin.
No, it's going to be a
try
thing.
I don't. Just listen to your soul.
I'm not going to listen to you two as to whether it's okay. That's for sure.
Listen to what's saying inside.
It's saying that you shouldn't do it.
But is it saying it in an Irish accent?
An accent, though.
No, it's not. Listen,
you can access it.
It's there, but I don't think you should.
No, precisely. I agree.
Listen, what are you driving towards? What's your point here?
What I'm saying is to your point that this man with involuntary tics, who is a campaigner, not an actor, this man with involuntary tics, I think what he could have done is said that. And then, to cover his back, said all the other ones.
All the other ones. Nice, equal opportunities.
Because then he's pushing the boundaries, but actually we can go, well, he said all of them.
But the first one was involuntary, and the rest would be voluntary.
Yes, but we wouldn't know.
But it'd be equal opportunity.
Equal opportunity.
So he could have... I think this is the thing.
What I mean?
Yeah, I think people who suffer from this branch of Tourette's...
Yeah.
should actually, when they say something offensive,
cornucopia.
Yes, they should then offend everybody else just to level the playing field. So he should also have said Free Palestine.
Because sometimes I will say, as an Asian person,
yes,
we do focus on one slur too much. It would be nice to hear all the slurs.
Yeah.
Okay.
On a more regular basis.
I think there are still a lot of the slurs out there on the street, on the internet. I think people are still.
But I've not heard I've not heard this Jim Davidson person say the other slurs.
I mean, he has said other slurs.
Has he?
Was it Jim Davidson?
He's not called Jim Davidson.
Although Jim Davidson has definitely said the slurs.
John Davidson.
Right.
John.
I wonder if there's any relation. It's not the point.
But I think we've come to some good conclusions.
I think we
here
have.
In this section.
I think.
So,
in summary,
don't hate the player, hate the game. Is that what we're saying? Is that the summary?
Very well.
Is that what we're...
Very well put. I mean, no, that's not what we're saying.
Okay.
I mean, firstly, well done. The BBC have reduced racism by 50%.
Yeah, well done on reducing racism by 50%.
Secondly, John Davidson should have used all of the slurs.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's what we're all agreeing on.
Yeah, and number 3, actually, the decision the editors made to cut out Free Palestine versus the N-word. Because here's the thing, there is no fun way to say Free Palestine. There's no fun way to say the N-word.
I don't think that.
Just listen to a few rap songs. Yeah? Yeah? So if you can... I can't think of a fun tune with which to say Free Palestine, but I can think of very many fun tunes with which to say the N-word.
And on that note, Eshaan Akbar, thank you for our apology watch.
My pleasure. See you soon, man.
No!
Well, that's it for this week. We'll be back next week. So in the meantime, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and remember that there's loads of stuff on our Patreon. Patreon.com/noncensored. So if you enjoy the show, please do support us. With thanks to Rosie Holt, Brendan Murphy, Eshaan Akbar, Athena Kablenu, Oliver Izod, Susan Harrison, and Ed Warish. I'm Harriet Langley-Swindon, and we'll be back next week with